Now it is time to make your color wheel in order. It is very important that you start with your three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. They are important, and they are all separated by your secondary colors. So you will not put them right next to each other. You need to separate them. So what you will do is you will start by filling in one triangle with your red. And what I would recommend is going across that triangle with your red, using some pressure, and what you might even do is turn your paper to make it really easy for you to use the side of your watercolor colored pencil and fill that in. Okay. Once you have done that, you would then move on to your yellow and your blue. Now you need to create your secondary colors. When you go to do this, you will be overlapping your two primary colors that mix to make them. So where I have red, on both sides of my red, I will need to put red again, because here will be orange and here will be purple. So I will put red on either side, filling that in. Then I would go to my next primary color. If I choose to do yellow next, I know that I need to use yellow both on this side and this side to make my secondary colors. So I'm going to overlap yellow with red. I'll need to use a lot of pressure to do that so that I get enough yellow to create my secondary color, which will be orange. And these colors will really mix together. Notice I'm using a lot of pressure. These colors will really mix together once I add that water onto them with a paintbrush. Okay, then I need to put my yellow on the other side where I will later be making green. Next, I will do my blue. Now, I already have red on one side of my blue and yellow on the other side, so now I just need to overlap. When I go over top of my yellow, I do not need to use a lot of pressure because blue is a lot stronger than yellow, and we want to make our green look green. So I'm kind of lightly going over top of that yellow to mix and make my secondary color green. And then I would do the same thing right next to my blue. I would be making my purple. The next step is now to mix these colors with water. These are watercolor colored pencils. So you will be taking your paintbrush, touching into your water, kind of sliding it up the side, and then you will just be going over each triangle. You don't want to go over your whole paper because the colors will mix too much, but you go to each triangle. And I would start at the lightest one, which is yellow, and you are going to just go ahead and gently go over your watercolor colored pencil with water. Do not use too much water because your paper will rip, but you want to use enough, and be very careful when you get to the line so that your colors don't mix, but just use enough so that now your watercolor colored pencil looks like watercolor paint. You would then go to the next lightest color, so I'll do orange next, and again, it's nice to turn your paper carefully, never lift up your paper though, and go ahead and mix those colors together next. Now it's very important that you don't get too close to the edge. You don't want colors to mix. We want this to stay yellow and this to stay orange, so be careful when you go next to those colors. Now, when you move on to your next color, you're going to kind of touch your paintbrush into the water so that it cleans off a little bit, and then keep moving around your color wheel. Now that you have mixed all of your colors, you need to give your color wheel a little bit of time to dry. So while you are waiting for that to dry for a minute or so, what you can do is clean out your paintbrush by touching it in the bottom of your water cup, sliding it off the side, putting it back into your container. Then you can go ahead and dump out your water and get a half cup full of new water for the next class at the sink. And then if your painting is dry, or it's starting to dry, you would start to watch the third video on how to make your mandalas, and you'll need to make sure you have a couple of Sharpies. You can use this Sharpie, and you can also use a skinny Sharpie when you go to do that. So you'll just watch that third video as this is drying, and then hopefully it's dry enough for you to put Sharpie over top of it when that third video is done and your paintbrush is clean.